When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And they'll go on the ground. And he's got room. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And that's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Back to throw. And the ball is knocked out, and the Redskins scoop it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Let's go! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll look to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. 1st down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before the...
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He gets it to die outright. And he is going to lose yardage here. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a short gain here. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has... never mind, Larry. Forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the 3rd quarter of action already. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. They come up in an offset eye. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Josh Doctson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. They'll set up to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So after the mistake by the offense, it cost him 5 yards. And now 1st and 15. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense. If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Looking to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. 9th play of the drive coming up. And certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And here come the Redskins now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
26 yards on the play there. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. That's another great play to come away with the football.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. They'll look to throw here. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now. He's been terrific so far.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to float this one deeper. This is caught at the 20. And he'll take it down deep into Tennessee territory. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down.
Back now at FedEx Field, it's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the fourth. First and goal here from the 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
Oh, Brandon, this one hurts my heart as a former defensive back. Out in the open field, you've got a chance to get down this receiver. Instead, he breaks through you. You'll hear about this in the film room. And
out of the gun now on third down. And that is the tight end was the target. And it's 4th and 4.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. So out now come the Redskins. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
Here we go. Flag round. Flag round. Flag round. Flag round.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. This will be caught at the 2. And he's brought down. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it first and goal. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion. All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense, but in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to something
well.
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll drop the throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
That is incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Jordan Phillips with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll set up to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as they'll go for it on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Jared Cook, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he is going to loop. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
Here we go.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 20. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Washington defense getting ready. They haven't played the best, but I guess it's not going to matter because their offense has been so good.
And they'll go in and shake their guys' hands and say, thanks a lot, big day. We'll try and tighten it down for the next ball game. But a lot of guys think this is kind of fun to be able to go up and down the field, almost like a basketball game where 2 teams full court press and score a whole lot of points. You may get beat, but sometimes you think, hey, that was a good day.
But they can still tighten it up here for one final stop. One make them feel good on the way out the door.
They'd love to show the defensive coordinator.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at the 33. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
Back to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it's good enough for a Tennessee first down. And they're going to speed things up here. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. To throw again. And Cook has it left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
10 yards still left on second down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean...